What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. So today is Wednesday, February 12th, and today is my sister's birthday, my older sister's birthday. So happy birthday, Tracy. Yeah, and man, so many February birthdays. I got Tracy, David, Taylor. I gotta stop shouting people out because one of these days I'm gonna have a vlog day and forget to tell someone happy birthday. But in case that's you, I love you guys so much. That's my family, and yeah, we always try to tell each other happy birthday on our birthdays. And if we can see each other, if we're in the same state, we try to see the person on their birthday week, birthday month, to do a little celebration with them. So that's fun. But today, the topic for today, I wasn't sure. There were a couple of different things that I wanted to talk about when I got up this morning, but I always like to start off with a quick prayer. So I am on the way to go pick up my daughter from school, and something that just came up today, like throughout my work day, all of us work really hard at the office, and sometimes it's easy to compare and contrast, or to catastrophize, or to put your entire sense of self-worth into your job. But to encourage you guys to not do that, right? That we are more, and we've talked about this before on several other videos, but that you're more than your job. And I know since we are in the month of February, the month of love, we are talking a lot about relationships this month, and I am a relationship coach. So I wanted to make sure to mention, in the vein of you not being your job, to remember to not neglect the people that you care about in your life for work. To remember to take time out for them. I know yesterday we talked a little, or on the last vlog, we talked a little bit about quality time and keeping the magic alive in a relationship, making sure that you spend quality time with the people that you love. And a part of that involves creating some work-life balance for yourself, which means you're going to have a schedule. You're going to have certain times during the day, during the week, where you're not working and you're not sleeping, right? Where you're doing something productive that deals with your personal growth and development, something productive that deals with your mental health and your relationships with other people. Because if we value them, we don't want to lose those relationships, because time is the one thing that you can't get back, right? We can make up for lost money. It might be hard, but it's not impossible. We can't make up for lost time. So to treat time as the precious commodity that it is, and not take that time that we have with the people we love for granted, to cherish it. So, I don't know. I mean, that really hit home for me. I know for myself, like for years and years, my husband would joke with me, and maybe he wasn't joking, but he would call me a workaholic. And I had a hard time accepting that for a long time. I mean, it wasn't until I actually had an event where I had to go to the hospital, and they had 12 doctors. It seemed like a bit of an overkill, or an intervention, if you will, at the hospital, because I wanted to go back to work after I needed to have this surgery, and I wasn't allowed to go back to work. And my surgeon had a bunch of the other doctors look at my paperwork and basically come in and tell me that I needed to slow down. And I talked to my employer, and they wouldn't let me come back to work, and I found myself kind of like depressed, if you will. It was like going through the stages of grief, because I didn't feel valuable without my job if I wasn't working. And my husband had to remind me, and my daughter would always, she's so loving, and my husband would say, well, we need you at home, and you're more than your job. But it took a minute to sink in. And like once it finally did, because there were several weeks where I couldn't go back to work, I started to appreciate what I had a little bit more and started to look at myself, for the other qualities and characteristics that I bring to the relationship instead of just Veronica, the employee, right? Or Veronica, the daughter. I'm also a mom. I'm also a wife. I'm also a person. I'm hopefully a person who has a healthy relationship with herself. And I did not have that like a few years ago. It wasn't as good as it could have been. And something like that helped me to slow down. But hopefully for you, you can take the time out now to start to do little things to get yourself back on track in terms of managing your time so that you are not missing out on forming healthy connections and relationships with the people that you care about. I love you guys. I hope this was a blessing to someone. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope